Each and every day, love and live your way to your very best. Learn and lead today. Be the best you can. It's your life. Take a stand, so live your best life. Live your best life. Come on and live your best life with Dr. Julia Royston. For I've come that you might have life and have that life to the full, overflowing, and abundantly. I'm Dr. Julia Royston, bringing you Live Your Best Life. Not my life, not someone else's life, but live the best life God intended for you to have. I'm always excited to bring you new people, information, empowerment, and inspiration to help you along your journey as you live that new life and that abundant life. So today, my guest is Miss Vernett Nettles. I want her to introduce herself to us, tell us who she is, where she's from, what she does, and get your pen and paper ready so that you can take down her contact information so that you can reach out to her, connect with her. Miss Vernett Nettles, take it away.
Hello there. Hello there. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, for allowing me to be a part of your world so that we all live our best life. I am so excited. I am Vernett Nettles. I am originally from Mobile. I live in Montgomery, and I've written 2 devotionals. One is a devotional and the other is a devotional planner, and I'll tell you about those in just a moment. But you can get in touch with me with BAC4NDR@gmail.com. BAC4NDR@gmail.com.
Okay, so she said Mobile and she said Montgomery. That's in Alabama, just in case you're geographically. Just in case you're geographically challenged, that's in Alabama.
Yes, it is.
Go
in
ahead.
the great state of Alabama. I am an educator by trade and by heart. I have always wanted to be a teacher. My sister said that I used to teach everybody else around, and she couldn't understand why I wanted to be a teacher. But I think that educating people and bringing people into a base of knowledge is so, so very important. And sometimes educating people is not about knowledge and not about learning out of a book. It's about communicating who you are so that everybody can grow. And my dad said you can't keep all the knowledge in your head. You have to be able to share it, because once you disseminate it, everybody has a part of it. And so they have a part of life. And so I've always been an educator in the traditional sense in the school system and at church. And so I've always enjoyed that. I'm actually a 26-year veteran educator in the state of Alabama.
Oh, come on through.
Yeah.
In the state of Alabama, come on through. Come on. Okay, so my dad was a teacher. How did you get into education? I just have to know.
My third grade teacher. My third grade teacher and my 6th grade teacher. My third grade teacher liked me and my brother. Those are the only 2 people she liked.
How did that happen?
I don't know. Me and my brother. And my 6th grade teacher was an English teacher, and she just enjoyed being around us. But I cannot forget Miss McGuire. Miss McGuire is my kindergarten and 1st grade teacher, and she taught me how to read.
Wow.
She still follows me to this day. She has purchased, I think, both of my books, and she works with my sister when my sister sings, and she always asks about me. It's great to know that she still keeps up with me.
There's nothing like teachers, nothing like them. So they always say it takes, most people who are teachers were influenced by a teacher. Now,
really?
Yeah, they most of them say that they were influenced, hopefully in a positive way. Sometimes it's negative, and they decide they want to be the vast difference of that teacher they experienced. Now, my dad was a teacher. He had 2 brothers who were teachers, and his one brother married a teacher, and then my cousins married teachers, and then so teaching and preaching kind of runs in our entire family. So I'm always curious as to everybody had the bug, or was it a part of their family?
Nope. I am the only teacher out of 6 children, and my mother was a salesperson and homemaker. My dad was a pharmacist.
Oh.
I am the anomaly.
You are the educator. Well, we thank you for just like the veterans. We thank you for your service because I am telling you that teaching and educating was the hardest job I ever had. It was the most difficult, and it was the short. I like immediate gratification. I like to know that my students get exactly what I want them to have, and they're going to just, woo, I like immediate gratification, but that's not necessarily the way it is in education.
That's not what happens in education.
No.
It's not. I did within my first 2 years of teaching, though, I had a young man who saw me at the grocery store, and he said, Miss Clemens. And I said, yes. He said, you taught me and you made me feel so much better. He was a tiny little thing, and he was scared to be in the 6th grade. Oh, my goodness. And I had to hold on to him just for a little while. And he when he finally left the school, he did well. He said, I did well wherever else I went. So that was good.
It's life-changing, but we don't get to see the fruit of that until much later. And that's what education and being an educator really taught me, because, I can spend our time together talking about that. But that was one of the things I really had to learn. As a librarian, the books were on the shelf and all neatly done and all checked in. But education and really the training part took so much more time. And you never knew until now. I'm seeing my students I taught, they're married, they've got kids. They now are like, I was Miss Forey then, because that's my maiden name. Miss Forey, I'm married. Miss Forey, here's my child. Yeah, I'm the engineer I said I was going to be. My husband's a teacher. And, I saw her on a plane, and I saw that one. Yes. And she's married to a dentist. And that one, I taught high school all girls Catholic, so I taught all that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was my first 10 years, and the last 12 years was public elementary school. Jesus help us all today. But anyway, I can't get out
middle school.
Woo, you taught the group I refused. I was too scared of them. They made me nervous. Okay, so let's switch gears. Let's talk about your books. Tell me about both of your books.
My first book is a 30-day devotional. It's titled, Why Should I Be Bound? Why Should I Be Bound grew out of what I thought was an opportunity for me. I decided that I wanted to write a book of poetry. And every time I sat down, I was drawn back to some of the stories in my life that were not in my poetry. So all of a sudden it became an opportunity for me to explore what happened and what I learned out of it. And so finally, I just decided, okay, Lord, we're writing a devotional. How do I do that? And what do I do? I chose 30 days because we are just like you were talking about immediate gratification, we really are a society of chunks. We don't read a lot of long books. No. So 30 days I thought was enough to touch people where they were and to start moving them and growing them into a different place. I was challenged, for lack of a better word, to increase the days by 100. And I came home and I prayed about it, and I walked and talked about it. I looked into it, but nothing kept me from moving to 30. And so from moving from 30. So I thought, okay, Lord, then we're going to do 30 days. But we spend a lot of time tied to what has already happened to us and what has already passed. My mom used to say, you spend a whole lot of time thinking about what somebody else did to you when they're going on about their business.
Right.
And God wants us to go on about his business.
Right.
We spend a lot of time engrossed in what other people have done to us and where we're going and where our life derailed. But the title of the book, Why Should I Be Bound? Why do you have to be bound to the things that God has already delivered you from? You may not have been delivered the way you wanted to be delivered, but you're away from that situation. Yes. You've moved on. So it gives us an opportunity to focus on him and not the things that have bound us. And eventually you can begin to let those go. my book has 30 devotionals, original poetry, and hymn references in the book.
Oh, wow. Keep the hymn alive. Come on through.
Yes, I love a good hymn. And one of my favorite devotionals is towards the end. I think it's day 27. But it's the devotional about the lady with the issue of blood. The woman with the issue of blood knew she should not be in the midst. And she knew being out was a crime. So she just wanted to be in God's presence. And she touched the hem of his garment. She didn't touch him. She didn't stop him. She just reached for the hem of his garment. And when she did that, power passed from him because of her faith. But the title of that devotional is In the Midst of All Else. Jesus was on his way to another appointment. And when she touched the hem of his garment, he said, someone touched me. In the midst of everything that's going on in life, he sees you. All you have to do is reach out in faith. And so that's really the theme of the entire devotional, is to reach out in faith, to see where you are. There's a phrase in one of the devotionals that my God is a ditch delivering God. Why? Because every time you get in a tight, every time you get in a ditch, what do you have to do? You have to dig. You have to allow him to see your way through it. You can't just jump out of a ditch. God has to be with you to deliver you out of that place. So that's what this first book is about, just seeing the deliverance and allowing you to see the deliverance. We spend a lot of time under an umbrella because it's raining. But we spend so much time under the umbrella, we don't even know that God has stopped the rain.
Yeah.
We get tied up in that. And so that's another reason why should I be bound is exciting for me. And it's exciting to talk about. My second book is a devotional planner. It's entitled Moments of Grace, a 2020 devotional planner. Why Moments of Grace? Because every day is an opportunity to have a moment with God. And sometimes we get so tied up in our lives, because I have to be at work at 7:30, but I get there around 8. But that's beside the point. But find that moment within that space of rushing here and there. That's why I chose Moments of Grace, because it gives us an opportunity to sit down, breathe, and take a moment with God. And every moment of God is about seeing the grace he has offered to us. But my devotional planner has a monthly devotional and then has a weekly scripture and prayer and a place to plan. So you have all of the elements of a devotional, but you also have the elements of a planner, so you can keep it with you. On page 17 of that devotional planner is a vision page. We write our vision board, we stick it on the wall. We stick it in the mirror, we stick it by the door, and then when we leave every day, we don't take it with us. It's stuck at home. But that planner, when you plan inside the planner, it allows you to take your vision and take your purpose with you. But the devotions in the devotional planner are not, what is the word I'm looking for? They're not always happy. They are targeted to make you think about your place with God, make you think about your walk with God. And the prayers say we, because we're inclusive. We're on a journey together. God has not set us aside or set us apart to be on a journey isolated from anybody else. We're on a journey together. And so the prayers say we. What are we going to do? Heavenly Father, thank you for our walk with you. So all of those things I think are unique to the devotional planner, because they help you plan where you're going to be and what you want to do, but also to walk with God in it.
Perfect. Well, we're going to stop right there. We're going to be right back. I have a story. You have a story. We all have a story to tell. But maybe you're having a little struggle getting that story started or how to finish that story, or how to write that story. That's my job. I'm Julia Royston at BK Royston Publishing, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. Reach out to us by visiting our website at bkroystonpublishing.com. That's B as in boy, K as in king, ROYSTON publishing, all spelled out, .com. Or schedule an appointment with us, Talk with Royston, ROYSTON.com. Hope to speak with you soon so we can hurry up and write that book now.
God of grace and mercy too, you are perfect in all your ways. I must praise you all my days. All my strength, mind, body, soul loves only you. Oh, my soul loves you. Lord, you say, deliver to. When I was lost, couldn't find my way, you said, follow me, I am the way. All my strength, mind, body, soul loves only you. Oh, my soul loves you. At your feet I bow to you, for you sit high upon the throne, and for my sin you did atone. All my strength, mind, body, soul loves only you. Oh, my soul, he loves you. God of grace and mercy too, you are perfect in all your ways. I must praise you every one of my days. All my strength, mind, body, soul, Lord, I love you. All my strength, mind, body, soul, I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you. Just want to tell you, Lord, I love you more than anything. I love you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you're King of kings and Lord of lords. God, I love you above everything, everybody else, everything, everything. God, I love you, God, I love you. Tell him again, I love you, Jesus. You died for me, and you set me free. You saved my soul, and you made me whole. God, I tell you, nobody can do me like you. Nobody nowhere. Nobody nowhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love you, Jesus. You love me first, and you love me best. I gotta tell you, mind, body, and soul, Lord, I love you more than anything. Oh, my strength, mind, body, soul, God, I love you. I love you. Lord, I love you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Welcome back. I'm Dr. Julia Royston, continuing our discussion on living your best life with Ms. Vernett Nettles. So glad she's here with us today. Yippee!
Yes.
So I have, I always have a question for you. So
Okay.
my question to you is encouraging people, women maybe, but all people, whether they're male or female, to live their best life. How do you balance it all? How, for living that best life, you got a job, you have responsibilities, you have family. How do you balance it all? Give us just one or two time management tips that you have, because I know you're active in church. I know you're a teacher. You got a life that I'm not going to claim it's in perfect balance.
It is not in perfect balance.
But how do you manage it all?
Sometimes I reprioritize my priority list, but a lot depends on what my focus is for that month or that week. A lot depends on focus. But I'm actually very prayerful about what you just said, that balance, that being able to take care of the things that I know God has purposed me to do. And that's the first thing, finding that purpose. But that's what I've been praying about as I launch into 2020. And the one thing that keeps coming up is intentional. You have to be intentional about what you want and where God is taking you. And the most stressful thing for me is scheduling. I have to schedule this out. I have to plan where I'm going and how I'm going to be a part of all of the places he wants me to be. What I'm convinced of is if he brought me to it, he'd bring me through it. And I remind myself of that. I remind myself of his promise. And I am reminded by him that I am doing what he has called me to do when people connect with me and say, that touched me. And you can't be where you can't be in God's will and not receive those fruits.
True.
If you're not receiving those fruits, then you might want to redirect or rethink how that's going to be. But one of the things, in answer to your question, intentionality is really a part of the struggle for balance. You have to intentionally know where you're supposed to be. And then the other is humility, and the other is strength. We get tied up sometimes about what we think we want to do and where we think we want to go. We're not humble enough to hear God's direction. Sometimes some things suffer, like maybe cleaning suffers, but not eating.
Oh, no.
Some things suffer, but what we want to do is make sure that we are continuously touching base with God to make sure that we are where he needs us to be at that time. And he will align the other things. Sometimes it just doesn't seem like they're being aligned fast enough for us.
Sure.
But he will align the other things. That question is actually very powerful for me because I know where I am this month in praying about my direction for the year and understanding that I have to be intentional and planning, intentional in my focus, and intentional in listening. And that is actually helping me see different parts of it. As you begin to balance your life out, it's going to be hard and it's going to feel unbalanced and squirrely. But if you continue to follow the plan that he's putting you in, it will balance itself out. It will balance itself out in such a way that you can do those things that he's called you to do. You can do those things that pay the bills. You can do those things for family, God, family, and work. I think my mother used to do Mary Kay, and that was their 3 top priorities. In fact, she still does Mary Kay. God first, family second, business third. And that creates the balance.
Yeah.
And so that's very helpful. Thank you for pulling me back into focus as I try to work through January into 2020. Thank you.
That is incredible. Okay, so I'm not gonna ask anything else because our time is up.
Oh no.
I had a whole lot of questions. I was going to ask you something else, but that's all right. Give us your contact information. That just means that you get to come back again.
I will. I have enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I can be found on Amazon, Vernett Nettles. My contact information is BAC4NDR@gmail.com. And the name of my books are Why Should I Be Bound, a 30-day devotional, and Moments of Grace, a 2020 devotional plan.
Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you, love. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. Today, tomorrow, and always, live your best life.
Live each and every day, love and live your way. Do your very best, learn and lead today. Be the best you can, it's your life, take a stand, so live